discussion is measured on research engine. What carries research? So without this engine, this machine called research will not be operating. We'll have no movement. So we'll be doing our coverage. Philosophy, we'll handle the introduction. Paradigm, look at the knowledge understanding within the paradigm. Remember, paradigm is a standard or a prototype. Roadmap, introduction and the process. Approach, introduction, difference, and iteration. So we move to the first area. Research philosophy. Now when we talk about a philosophy, it is a thinking, it is a attitude or a line or a point of view. So a philosophy in research, first we look at the research. What is research? Research is concerned with seeking solution to problem or answers to meaningful questions in a systematic manner that is manageable to others. So when you're doing a research, you're actually giving a solution to a problem or you are answering to a meaningful question in a systematic manner. And the information that you bring forward is accessible or available to others. It determines the composition of research. Now that is a philosophy. What is to be reflected in a research for research to be clear and complete? This with the source, the nature, and development of knowledge. That is a philosophy. That is a standard we are setting. This philosophical approach enables to decide which approach should be adopted by the researcher and why, which is derived from researcher question. That is according to Sonda, Lewis, and Thornhill, 2006. The philosophy is made up of the following structure: ontology, epistemology, and methodology. The link between the important concept of ontology, epistemology, and methodology are neatly summarized by Taylor and Anker, 1999, page 27. The belief about the nature of the world, that's ontology, adopted by an inquiry will affect their belief about the nature of knowledge in that world, that is epistemology, the knowledge perspective, which in turn will influence the inquiry's belief as to how that knowledge can be uncovered, that is methodology. So according to Taylor and Anker, they are actually giving us a link between ontology to epistemology to methodology. Research paradigm. So the paradigm here, we are looking at the prototype, and our prototype will be focused on ontology, real and relative, real life situation. Epistemology is the knowledge perspective or understanding perspective. And then the methodology, we look at the quantitative and qualitative. These are the two methods that determines the research methodology. So your flow must start from ontology, which is either relative or real, objective or subjective. Epistemology, we look at the nature of knowledge, how you got the knowledge. Then finally, methodology, so which method are you applying? Is it quantitative or qualitative? So in the research philosophy, we have objectivity and subjective. So the first green here gives us philosophy of our research. So when you're coming up with your research, you must understand what is your objective, or are you following the objective direction, or are you following the subjective direction? Now once you identify the subjective or objective, then you come to approach. Now in our approach, we are actually either doing deduction or induction. Your reasoning. What is your reasoning? Is it induction or deduction? Deduction is top down. Induction is bottom up. Then your research methodology. That is number 3. Is it quantitative or qualitative? So if it is objectivity, it is quantitative. If it is subjectivity, it is qualitative. Then you come to your strategy. What is your strategy? Are you using survey? Are you using questionnaire? Are you using interview? Are you using observation? And in one way, you can think about your strategy to be under the technique. Then you come to the time horizon. In the time horizon, is it cross-sectional or is it longitudinal? Then finally, you actually come down to the yellow area, which is data collection and data analysis. So you need to identify which is your best data collection and data analysis. So data collection can be now, are you using questionnaire? Are you using interview? Are you using observation? Using ethnographic? Whichever way you approach is based on. Now, in our research roadmap, we are looking at the direction we'll be following, the steps that we are supposed to follow. When you start from ontology, you move to epistemology. Epistemology to methodology. From methodology to methods. So this narrows down our approach. Assuming that this is a tree, the roots will be our ontology, the stem will be our epistemology, methodology will be our branch, and methods will be the leaves. How do we get the information? Being specific. How do you collect the data? Is it questionnaire? Is it observation? Now we come to the research roadmap. We give a clear distinction, the clear roadmap. How do you go about research? Now, if it is ontology, what do you know? What do you know? Is it objective? Is it objectivism or subjectivism? Objectivism, real. Subjectivism, to be interpreted. Then you come to epistemology, the next step in your iteration. How do you know what you know? That means you need the knowledge perspective. So in the knowledge perspective, it's either positivism or interpretism. Methodology is number 3. What to do? What to do to get the knowledge? What to do to get what you know? So there are only 2 methods. We have quantitative and qualitative. So if it is quantitative, it is on the basis of objectivism. If it is qualitative, it's based on subjectivism. Then finally, we have the methods. What to use? Which tools are you using to collect the data? So when you're going to the shamba, you need to know whether are you weeding or you're digging the shamba for the first time or you're clearing the land so that you can start digging. So identify which kind of tools are you supposed to be having. So in the tools, if it is objectivism, you make use of surveys, questionnaires, and scientific experiment. If it is under subjectivism, which is falling under qualitative methodology, use observation or do interview or ethnographic. So these are This gives us the roadmap of our research. So if you want to do a research, you start with ontology. What do you know? Epistemology. How do you know? Methodology. What to do? And methods. What to use. What are you using to work out your research? Our next initiative is research approach. So in the research approach, we are looking at what is your reasoning, the reasoning perspective, your approach in terms of thinking. So in your approach, we have two very important reasoning perspectives, deductive and inductive. Now, in the deductive, the reasoning is top down. You start from the theories, you move to the hypothesis, then you come to observation, then you confirm what you have come up with. So from the rules, deductive is all about using the rules to get the specific information. In the inductive, it is the bottom up. You start with the observation, then get the pattern, then come up with the hypothesis, then finally come with the theories from general to specific.